Guys, this is Michiel Functional Breath. So if you want to take control back over your own life, then I have something great for you, which is a functional breath course, 8 videos released every week. So over 8 weeks time, you can just breathe properly, take control back over your own mind, but also really boost your performances in an athletic way in sports. So today I'm going to talk to you about the autonomic nervous system, and I'm going to show you 3 different breathing practices that you can definitely use in everyday life so that you can balance your nervous system, right? So what do we know about the autonomic nervous system? That is, we have 2 different parts. We have the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. Yeah. So the sympathetic nervous system is actually the nervous system that nowadays we usually activate the most. Why is that? Because that is the part of the nervous system that we usually link with survival. Yeah? So when we are under stress, then we have the fight, flight or freeze mechanism going on because of this sympathetic nervous system. And obviously we have the stress hormone that activated by it is adrenaline and cortisol, right? So that is the part that we all the time activate nowadays. Well, not all the time, but more than what we want. You have stress at work or school or whatever you do. You come home, you have a family, you have to provide, you have to cook, you don't have time for yourself. When are you going to actually take your time to let your body heal and take your body for a rest, right? So that is where the parasympathetic nervous system kicks in. Yeah, that's the opposite of what we of the sympathetic nervous system. Yeah, so that is all about healing and relaxing. So that is just about the rest and digest. So also it really activates your digestion very well as well. So it also releases the happy hormone serotonin. So it balances also again out the stress and the happiness, which is a very good thing, what everybody desires. So what is very important to know about these things is these two parts of the autonomic nervous system is that we want to have balance, right? It's not that the sympathetic nervous system is bad, it's just we don't have to be constantly in overdrive. We don't always want to be in survival mode. We just also need to have our time to get our nutrients to the right parts, to really get our body in balance so it can really be functioning in optimum, can perform again perfectly the next day, yeah, and not go all the time in that red zone. Good to know about the sympathetic nervous system is as well that if you are in fight and flight mindset or your mind, then it is basically your amygdala, which is the inner part of your brain, and actually most inner parts are the oldest parts of the brain when you look at the evolution. So all the other intelligence and problem solving stuff that came on top of that, and the frontal lobe and so on. So what do you need to know about the amygdala is that is very deep and is related to fear. So that is definitely the fight, flight and freeze. And the problem with that is that if we constantly in that kind of state of mind, then we won't be thinking anymore, because it blocks off the rational thinking and you act in a different way. And if you act in a different way, that has a lot of consequences, right? So we do want to be in a parasympathetic nervous system mindset also, so that we can find balance in our life, all right? So there are 3 breathing techniques that I will show you to create a bit of more balance or to activate both of them. It depends. So we have, when I'll show you my little graph, there's 3 different ones, yeah, and we have the middle one that is just the normal breathing. Normal breathing to not activate the sympathetic nervous system, not activate the parasympathetic nervous system. That is just your go-to breathing, what you really want. So usually we breathe about 16 breaths per minute. So with this breath is what we want to lower that amount. Yeah, we just breathe in for 4 counts, for example, 5 counts, whatever feels natural, but longer and deeper inhales and circular breaths. And then the same with exhales, equally as deep as your inhale, equally as long as your inhale, and also very circular. So it goes like that. It's very important to breathe via the nose. I have other videos where I explain why that is, and via the diaphragm. So you will be performing a belly breathing, so you see your belly going up and down, and your diaphragm will actually activate all that. When you inhale, it contracts, it goes down, so you suck in the air from the atmosphere into your lungs, and then when you exhale, that muscle relaxes and pushes it out. So for your exhale, it's a passive exhale. So we inhale actively, we use our inspiration muscles, and when we exhale, we just let go. So we don't activate these expiration muscles. Yeah? So it really brings you in a balanced state of mind, which is a good thing. And very important to know, if you breathe circular, deeply and slowly, you will have, it's impossible to have an anxiety attack. Yeah? So that is something very nice to know. But obviously it equals balance. Now like Lucas, how is he called now? Lucas Rockwood, he calls that water breathing because it's very neutral. And it's not the breath what you do unconsciously. The whole purpose is to do it with your conscious and become conscious. Train that as much as you can, when you can, so that the unconscious breathing like that will influence it and becomes an automated kind of breathing, and it will influence your mindset and always go back to your neutral state and balanced state, right? So the other one, I'm gonna start with the parasympathetic nervous system activation, that is here. So when do we use that? We can use that before we eat, before a meal. If you have digestion problems, it will definitely help you to set for heavy meals, for you to be able to digest better. Or you go to sleep, you have a bit of sleepless nights. It's also very good to become in that sleepy state and relaxed state, so you can fall asleep more peacefully. It does help a lot. Yeah. So how does it work? You inhale the same. You can inhale for about 3 counts or 4 counts, whatever feels natural for you. But you exhale 2 times as long as your inhale. Yeah. So it goes like this. The same via the nose and diaphragm. Yeah, so that we call as whiskey breathing, because usually, well, that's what Lucas refers to whiskey breathing. He made it up himself, I think, but in the end of the day, it's all about when do you drink a whiskey? You drink a whiskey when you just at night, you want to relax and you want to become a little bit tired, well, relaxed, yeah, tired and so on. Yeah. So this is a very good practice for you to heal your body, to give your body the rest and all the cells the rest, and to increase the nutrients to these cells so that they can repair themselves. Yeah, and it's not only for the body, it's for the mind, it's your state of mind, and even you can influence your heart rate as well. Like you see in that other video I made about influencing your heart rate after your exercise or after a set in the gym, etc., etc. Yeah. So that is the way how you influence your parasympathetic nervous system, or at least activate it to balance again your day with the constant sympathetic nervous system when you have a hectic job or whatever you have. Yeah. So that is the the third one. Yeah. So when do we use that? We can use it in the morning when you wake up, when to have a bit more energy. You can have you do that before you go to sport, to activate your lungs and to have that energy before, to let your cells know like, hey, now you have to go and perform. Or you can also do it in the afternoon when you eat lunch. Sometimes you have a bit of an insulin peak, makes you tired, you're not performing very well, and instead of in the afternoon when you become tired and go for a little snack or coffee to drink, you rather can do these breathing exercises. Yeah, they call it actually also coffee breathing because it really gives you that energy. And don't forget also caffeine. Or if you drink it too much, or it's not too bad to drink caffeine, but if you drink it on the long term way too much, it makes you actually tired in the long term. It doesn't help in the long term. Yeah. So it's the only one that breathing exercise that we are doing in sets, or let's say in cycles. So we have the other two where we do it for about 2 to 5 minutes. This coffee breathing, we do about 3 cycles of 15 breaths. Yeah, and they are very quick, and we focus on the expiration. So the expiration is active, and it's a bit like a sneeze, like that. And the inhale is passive, so we don't focus on the inhale. Yeah, so you do about 15 breaths, no breath hold after. Just like that, and then we do that about 3 times. Yeah, it goes like that. And you breathe normal. So you can do 15 breaths, you can even do 20 breaths, you can even go 30 breaths. But don't forget that it does give you quite a bit of energy. It's very effective. So don't do it too much. You don't have to do a breath hold. You can do a breath hold, and that's kind of a different kind of breathing technique that can lead into many good things as well. But that's for another video, right? So, so the parasympathetic nervous system is all about action. So the coffee breathing is when we want to have that. So if you want to have a little recap, then I would say we have the water breathing. Breathe as much as you can in this way. 4 counts in, 4 counts out via the nose and the diaphragm. Relax 2 to 5 minutes, as many times as you can. It's very balanced. You can't do anything wrong with it, and you can't do it wrong neither. Yeah. The whiskey breathing is inhale 3 to 4 counts, exhale twice as long via the nose and the diaphragm, about 2 to 5 minutes as well, just before you have a heavy meal or before you go to bed. Then we have the coffee breathing, which you do in the morning or in the afternoon when you have a bit of a dip, or before exercise. And you do that for 3 cycles, about 15 to 20 breaths is perfect. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you soon. Click on all the other stuff to find other videos on YouTube. If you're on Instagram, go on the link in my bio where you find a page with a full outline of my video course of functional breath. This is just a little bit of the value that I have in my course, so that is why I give all these things for free. Yeah, I hope to see you soon, and have an inspired day, guys.